Hello everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everybody. Alright, everybody, gonna have a seat. How's everybody going today? How about Tim Spicer? I am here with students at Wakefield High School in Arlington, Virginia. And we got students journeying from all across America, from kindergarten through 12th grade. And I'm just so glad that all could join us today. I want to thank Wakefield for being such an outstanding host. Give yourself a big round of applause. I know that for many of you, today is the first day of school. And for those of you in kindergarten or starting middle or high school, it's your first day in the new school. So it's understandable if you're a little nervous. I imagine some seniors out there feeling pretty good right now. With just one more year to go. But no matter what grade you're in, some of you probably wishing it was still summer. I could stay in bed just a little bit longer this morning. I know that feeling. When I was young, my family lived overseas. I lived in Indonesia for a few years. And my mother, she didn't have enough money to send me where all American kids went to school. But she thought it was important for me to keep up with American education. So she decided to teach me extra lessons herself, Monday through Friday. But because she had to go to work, the only time she could do it was at 4:30 in the morning. Now, as you imagine, I was too happy I'll get my dad earlier. A lot of times just fall asleep right there at the kitchen table. But whenever I complained, my mother would just give me one of those looks and she'd say, "There's no picnic for me either, Buster." So I know that some of you are still adjusting to being back in school, but I'm here today because I have something important to discuss with you. I'm here because I want to talk with you about your education and what's expected of all of you in this new school year. I'll give a lot of speeches about education. I talk about responsibility a lot. I talk about teachers' responsibilities for inspired students, push you to learn. I talk about your parents' responsibilities for making sure you stay on track and you're getting homework done. Don't spend waking out in front of a TV or with the Xbox. I talk a lot about your government's responsibilities for setting high standards and supporting teachers and principals, turning around schools that aren't working, where students aren't getting the opportunities they deserve. By the end of the day, we can have the most dedicated teachers, the most supportive parents, the best schools in the world, and none of it will make a difference. None of it will matter unless all of you fulfill your responsibilities. Unless you show up to those schools, unless you pay attention to teachers, unless you listen to your parents and grandparents and other adults and put in the hard work it takes to succeed. That's what I'll focus on today. The responsibility each of you has for your education. I want to start with the responsibility you have to yourself. Every single one of you has something that you're good at. Every single one of you has something to offer. And it's responsibility for yourself to discover what that is. That's the opportunity an education can provide. Maybe you could be a great writer. Maybe you're good enough to write a book, articles, and newspaper, but you might not know it until you write an English paper, the English class paper that's assigned to you. Maybe you could be an innovator or an inventor. Maybe you're good enough to come up with the next iPhone or new medicine or vaccine. But you might not know it until you do a project for a science class. Maybe you could be a mayor or senator with Supreme Court justice. But you might not know that until you join student government or debating. And no matter what you want to do with your life, I guarantee that you need education to do it. You want to be a doctor, a teacher, or police officer? You want to be a nurse or an architect, a lawyer, or a member of the military? You're going to need a good education for every single one of those careers. You cannot drop out of school and just drop into a good job. You got to train for, and work for, and learn for. And that's just important for your own life and your future. What you learn in school today will decide nothing less than the future of this country. The future of America depends on you. What we learn in school today will determine whether we as a nation can meet our greatest challenges in the future. We need knowledge and problem-solving skills. You learn science and math to cure diseases like cancer and AIDS, and develop new energy technology and protect our environments. You need insights and critical thinking skills. You gain history and social studies to fight poverty, homelessness, crime, and discrimination, and make our nation more fair and more free. We need creativity and ingenuity you develop in all your classes to build new companies. They'll create new jobs and boost our economy. We need every single one of you to develop your talents and your skills and your intellect so you can help us all folks solve our most difficult problems. If you don't do that, if you quit on school, you're not just quitting on yourself, you quit on the country. Now, I know it was always easy to do all in school. I get it, I know what it's like. My father left my family when I was 2 years old. And I was raised by a single mom who had to work and struggled time to pay the bills, and I was able to give us the things that the kids had. There were times when I was missing having a father in my life. There were times when I was lonely, I felt like it didn't fit in. And my life could be easily taken a turn for the worse. But I was lucky. I got a lot of second chances, and I had an opportunity to college and law school and follow my dreams. My wife, our First Lady, Michelle Obama, she has a similar story. Neither of her parents had gone to college, and they didn't have a lot of money. But they worked hard, and she worked hard so that she could go to the best schools in this country. Now I know that some of you might not have those advantages. Maybe you don't have a father in your life will give you support that you need. Maybe someone in your family has lost their jobs and there's enough money to go around. Maybe you live in a neighborhood where you don't feel safe, where friends pressure you to do things you know aren't right. But at the end of the day, the circumstances of your life, where you look like, where you come from, how much money you had, where you got going on home, none of that is an excuse for neglecting your homework and having a bad attitude in school. That's no excuse for talking back to teacher or class or dragging you out of school. There's no excuse for not trying. Where you're right now doesn't have to determine where you end up. No one's writing your destiny for you. Because here in America, you write your own destiny. You make your own future. That's what young people like you are doing every day all across America. Young people like Jasmine Perez from Roma, Texas. Jasmine didn't speak English when she first started school. Neither of her parents had gone to college, and they had a lot of money. But she worked hard and good grades and got scholarship to study Brown University as now in public health on her way to becoming Dr. Jasmine Perez. I'm thinking about Adoni Schultz from Los Altos, California, who's fought brain cancer since he was 3. He has endured all sorts of treatments and surgeries, one of which affected his memory, so it took him much longer, hundreds of extra hours to do his schoolwork. But he never fell behind. He's at college this fall. And then Chantel Steve from my hometown, Chicago, Illinois. Even when bouncing from foster home to foster home in the toughest neighborhoods in the city, she managed to get a job in a local healthcare center and start a program to keep young people out of gangs. And she's on track to graduate high school with honor and go to college. And Jasmine, Donnie, and Chantel aren't any different from many of you. They face challenges in their lives just like you do. In some cases, they got a lot worse off than many of you. But they refuse to give up. They chose to take responsibility for their lives, for their education, and set goals for themselves. And I expect all of you to do the same. Your goals can be something simple as doing all your homework, pay attention in class, or spending some times each day reading a book. Maybe you decide to get involved in extracurricular activity or volunteer in community. Maybe you decide to stand up for kids who have been teased or bullied because of who they are or how they look. Because you believe, like I do, that all young people deserve a safe environment to study and learn. Maybe you decided to take better care of yourself so you could be more ready to learn. And along those lines, by the way, a lot of you are washing your hands a lot. Stay home from school in the field well so you can keep you from getting the flu this fall winter. But whatever you resolve to do, I want you to commit to it. I want you to really work at it. I know that sometimes you get a sense from TV that we can be rich and successful without any hard work. I'll take this successes to rapping or basketball or being a reality TV stars. Chances are you're not be any of those things. Truth is, being successful is hard. You won't love every subject that you study. You won't click with every teacher that you have. Not every homework assignments will seem completely relevant to your life right at this minute. And you won't necessarily succeed in everything the first time you try. That's okay. Some of the most successful people in the world are the ones who have the most failures. J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter. Her first Harry Potter book was rejected 12 times before it was finally published. Michael Jordan was cut from high school basketball teams. He lost hundreds of games and misses, thousands of shots during his career, but he once said, I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that's why I succeed. These people succeeded because I understood that you can't let your failures define you. You have to let your failures teach you. You have to let them show you what to do differently the next time. So if you get in trouble, that doesn't mean you're a troublemaker. It means you need to try harder to act right. If you get bad grade, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It just means you need to spend more time studying. No one's born being good at all things. You become good at things through hard work. You're a varsity athlete the first time you play new sports. You hit every note the first time you sing a song. You got to practice. The same principle applies to your schoolwork. You might do a math problem a few times before you get it right. You might have to read something a few times before you understand it. You definitely have to do a few drafts of a paper before it's going off to hand it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I do that every day. Asking for help is a sign of weakness, is a sign of strength. It shows our courage to admit when you don't know something, and that then allows you to learn something new. So find adults that you trust, your parents, grandparents, or teacher, coach, or counselor, and ask them to help you stay on track to meet your goals. And even when you struggle, even when you're discouraged, and you feel like other people have given up on you, don't ever give up on yourself. Because when you give up on yourself, you give up on your country. The story is Americans about people who quit when things got tough. It's about people who kept going, who try harder, who loved the country too much to do anything less than the best. Student who said what you said 250 years ago, who went and waged a revolution and they founded this nation. Young people. Students who said what you said 25 years ago, 75 years ago, who overcame depression and won a world war, who fought for civil rights and put a man on the moon. Students who said what you said 25 years ago, who found Google and Twitter and Facebook and changed the way we communicate with each other. So today I want to ask all of you, what's your contribution going to be? What problems are you going to solve? What discoveries will you make? What will a president come here in 50 or 100 years and say what all of you did for this country? Now your parents, teachers, and I are doing everything we can to make sure you have the education you need to answer these questions. I'm working hard to fix up your classroom, get books and computers and equipment you need to. But you got to do your part too. So I expect all of you to get serious this year. I expect you to put the best effort in everything you do. I expect great things from each of you. So don't let us down. Don't let your family down or your country down. Most of all, don't let yourself down. Make yourself proud. Thank you very much, everybody. God bless. God bless America. Thank you.